Hello guys, it's Rob here again from hobbymad.ie. Just a short video today, just to tell you about a new product that we're going to be adding to the store soon. Um, this one is basically to allow you to transfer your Citadel Warhammer paints into something that's a lot easier to use. One problem with these pots, I'm sure many of you have problems with these pots, I do myself. They're just difficult to essentially to store. Well, for one thing, to store the paints, they are not the best at sealing. Essentially just a press fit, which obviously can dry out quicker over time. But to me, the most, I suppose, frustrating thing is this lid system that they have, where if you let it go, I suppose you can flick paint. You also can't dispense an accurate amount, because you have to dip a brush in or take a dropper or something and suck up some and put it on your palette. Not ideal, because you can cause contamination of all the paint in that way. So what I've been doing is I've been transferring my Citadel paint collection into these little guys, which are just 15 ml dropper bottles, and they just have, much like the Vallejo paints. This is a Vallejo one, and you can see they're essentially the same size, so they'll be compatible with any kind of Vallejo paint tracks. And Vallejo paints are just, tried and tested system. Just droppers just make the most sense in my opinion. So and they're squeezable, so you can get the paint out onto your palette, give it a shake, and they have a tamper resistant cap. So these are essentially the same that would be used in e-cigarette liquids. Tamper resistant cap there. So the way I'm going to be selling them in the store is they come in 3 parts, so bottle, dropper bit, and cap. But the video today is just to do a quick, I'm also going to be selling the syringes over here. But the video today is just a quick overview, just to show you how to essentially transfer the paint from this guy into this guy. So this first step is optional. What I like to do is, because these paints are quite concentrated, the Citadel paints, what I do is, these are 12 milliliters. So what I do is I usually add 3 milliliters of water, and just makes things a lot easier to transfer. You don't have to, it's optional obviously, but I just find that this, you're going to be thinning your paints on the palette anyway, so it's not a big deal already. So but the first thing I do is, this is a brand new pot, so all I did was just crack it open there, and I'm going to be adding 3 ml of water. So that's taking it up to 15, which is essentially the volume of these guys. So give that a close, make sure it's really, really well closed, and then just give it a shake. Shouldn't take too long. Okay, just make sure it's all nicely mixed. And now what you're going to be wanting to do is opening it again carefully, and you can just see this messy system. I don't understand the system, I never have. It's the only paint pot I know of its kind. All the other ranges use droppers or some kind of little pot that's just easier to store things. Okay, so as I said, you get it in 3 parts in the set, which we're going to be listing on our website. A set will just basically be a few bottles and a few syringes, and you can just buy as many sets as you need, or whatever. So you're going to get it like this, and then what you want to do is just take a syringe. Now this can obviously get messy, so if you want to, you can use gloves, but I'm just going to go straight in there. You just want to be basically 3 5 ml doses. So just be careful. Obviously this is very concentrated paint, so just take care that you don't spray it over it. Another thing I'd suggest is actually do this when you're going to be painting, because obviously there's going to be some, and obviously do it with the colors that you're going to be using, because there's going to be some paint left behind. I mean, it's difficult to get everything out, so if you can use up that paint sometime in the near future, that's great. No waste. Okay, this is a problem. You can see what happens sometimes. You get a little bubble there. Just be careful with that, because it's going to end up rebounding on you. Just basically pop the bubbles there. What I should have done was actually just put the syringe tip all the way in. That stops that from happening. Okay, and there's a last little bit in there now. And, try and suck a little bit out of the lid too. Like I said, you can use up all this paint in the next project. Just okay, so you can reuse these syringes if you wash them well. Obviously while the paint's still wet, once it's dry it's going to be a lot harder. So what I do is just throw it into a glass of clean water, just syringe up and down a few times, and you can just leave it to soak in there while you're finishing this. Okay, now you're going to take your dropper, stick that there, take a little bit of napkin, just give it a nice little clean there, and that's it, you're done. Now one other thing you can do, which I would recommend, is I might just throw a few of these into the kit as well. These are just acrylic beads. What these are handy for is for mixing the paint. So if you just drop a few into the so these droppers come out quite easily, so it is reversible. And if you just drop a few of these little, I think they're acrylic or they're glass, but you can use either. If you have some lying around, let's just use them as well. And just drop a couple in there, and just drop 3 in. Actually, these are good for your Vallejo paints as well. You can do the same with your Vallejo paints. Again, you can take out that dropper part and drop a few beads in, and then once the beads are in, just cap it up again, and you can hear then now the beads rattling around. And that's it. Final step then I like to do is just take off the sticker off the old pot and just neatly stick it onto the new one. Now you'll find obviously it overlaps because the new bottle isn't as thick, but that's fine. And there you go. Nice, perfectly bottled Citadel paints. And put those on your just nice drop. And there you go. These are handy for water as well, so just put some water into them and you're good to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, these will be in the website soon. Hobbymad.ie, and it'll probably be under the paints section. Alright, see you next time, guys. Cheers.